Hey everyone, it's Vlogster. I may talk a little quieter because I have a child sleeping in the other room. It's my nephew. I just want to let you know before we start reading that I'm not going to be filming on the weekends anymore. I'm not going to film Saturdays and Sundays because those are my busiest days. I'm still going to do my Friday night live streams. Sorry that my Wi-Fi was acting up last Friday. I had terrible Wi-Fi. And I recently found out that the Dragon Prince episode also experienced terrible Wi-Fi, so I might remove that episode and just try and reshoot a Dragon Prince episode. I don't know. Whatever works for you guys let me know down below. But today we're going to be reading Chapter 6 / Episode 6 of my Fate the Winx Saga rewrite. So, let us begin. Mission at Cloud Tower. And if y'all don't know, this is the exact same title of one of the episodes in Winx Club. Beatrix is locked up and is being interrogated by Farah. Saul is guarding to make sure nothing bad happens to Farah or Beatrix, although it is worth noting that Beatrix is acting like she's in pain. "Tell me why you're at this school," said Farah as she pushed into Beatrix's mind. Beatrix screams. "Farah, she's not talking," said Saul. "I can make her." "It seems like you're hurting her," worried Saul. "What I am doing is pushing through her mental defenses. It's painless," explained Farah as Beatrix screamed more. "This is an act." And then Beatrix stopped screaming and sat up. "I wonder if anyone will believe you." "I doubt it. My story's the better one. It's what they'll whisper in the halls when all this is over. They'll say Beatrix was damaged, everyone knew that, but the headmistress was crazy obsessed. What did you do to Bloom? You say to her, are your sisters in on this? They'll say Darling went to her cell every night for a week and violently probed her fragile mind," continued Beatrix. "There's nothing fragile about you. Why are you here? Who are you really?" Beatrix's screams echoed through the school. "The burned ones that appeared since you arrived. Do you have something to do with them?" Then one night, the screaming stopped. "No one knows what happened to the poor girl, but everyone knows who did it." "Beatrix, you're not the victim here," assured Farah. "Maybe not to you, but I can't promise the rest of the school will agree." "Sorry, was that not the story you wanted to hear?" asked Beatrix. Farah and Saul leave the cell room. Meanwhile, Bloom spies on Dowling. Ribbon catches her. "Late night stroll?" "Yeah, I need some air," answered Bloom. "This particular air?" asked Ribbon as Bloom nodded. "I know what you're doing." "You don't know anything." "You want to talk to her, don't you, Beatrix?" "I can help you." "What do you mean?" "My guard shift is tomorrow night. Maybe you'll need some air then too," said Ribbon as he walked away. The next day, it was morning and Bloom was training with Sky. "Where is it?" "I don't know, just stay close," answered Bloom. And then a burned one raced toward them. Bloom gets her fire ready and aims, but the burned one goes right through the fire. As the burned one gets closer, Sky steps in front, ready to strike it with the sword. The burned one jumps up and then dissolves into dust, back into the crystal ball that provided the illusion. "How many of these weird training magic dummies do we have to fight?" asked Bloom, tired. "As many as it takes to actually beat one," answered Sky, who was also tired. "I just wish they would tell us how to fight these things. We've literally aced every exercise but this one." "Didn't you do a training day last year?" asked Bloom. "Yeah, but it was nothing like this. It's like they've gone full war games." I mean, they were soldiers before teachers, so I guess it's on brand for Althea faculty. Professor Harvey, can we get a hint? Asked Sky. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. Just be patient. Look, fire magic is effective if used properly. Inside each burned one is a magical core called a cinder, and with time and finesse, you can use your magic to destroy it. But the key is mutual trust. You must trust your specialist to hold back while you channel controlled magic, and you must trust your fairy to get the job done. So I guess that's the question. Can I trust you? Asked Bloom. Bloom walks away and Sky's far. Are you still mad at me for not telling you about my brother and I switching names? No, that was weeks ago. I'm over that. I still don't trust you fully. I just don't trust you fully. Well, can I trust you? Asked Sky as Bloom just looked at him. So what did you do on that joyride again? Can we go again, please? Yelled Bloom, not wanting to answer Sky's question because she still didn't have all the answers to who Beatrix and her sisters are. That'll be attempt 5 for Bloom and Sky, said Griselda, who was walking with Farah, Silva, and Musa, who were surveying the students as they practiced fighting. And, asked Headmistress Darling to Musa. He slightly wondered. She's frustrated, but neither of them are frigate. Answered Musa. Good. I know they know that I'm reading them, but it still feels invasive. Can't I use my magic against an actual enemy? Not all fairy magic is suited for combat rules. Support is equally, if not important. Your magic can help us access fragile states of mind or uncover enemies. Like Beatrix, asked Musa. Exactly. How is she, by the way? Have you found out why she is at the school? Asked Musa curiously. Let's keep focus. Who's next? Said Headmistress Darling as she continued walking. Musa and Techna trade places. Musa helped Silva with cleaning up the gear. You like holding that big stick? Asked Ribbon as Musa twirls it around and puts it in Ribbon's face. I'll take that as a yes. I think I'll just stir up a little. So you on the sport rounds with Headmistress Darling, a train. I wouldn't expect a mind fairy to have such good moves, said Ribbon. I used to be a dancer. Kinda miss being physical, replied Musa. Yeah, well, too bad. You're a fairy. They don't care what you want to be in this place, only what they want to be. Musa's eyes glow purple as she senses Ruin's emotions. You really hate being here, don't you? Stay out of my head, said Ruin as he walked away. Mind fairies, walking red flags. After training, Sky talks to Silva. Silva, seriously, pairing me with Bloom? It seems pretty obvious, said Sky. Well, Bloom's a powerful fairy and you're a strong socialist. Nobody questioned it. What have you found out? She hasn't said anything about her road trip with Beatrix. I need more information. Well, that's all I have, and I don't feel right spying on Bloom. What you are doing matters. You have to trust me. Everything I do and everything I have done is to keep the fairy world safe. And yes, it can be lonely, but there is honor in that, Sky, explained Silva. Sky sighed and walked off. Meanwhile, in the woods near the barrier, Ribbon is meeting Darcy. What do you want? You know I could get in a lot of trouble for just meeting you, right? Asked Ribbon, not happy. Calm down. I just need someone on the inside to help me break out my sister, answered Darcy. No way I'm helping you. Come on, Ribbon. You know me, I'm not evil, said Darcy while grabbing his hands and trying to use her telepathy powers to convince him. Ribbon pulled away. Don't use your stupid mind tricks on me either. Ribbon, you know I would never hurt you. Why can't you just trust me? Because Sky told me everything that happened. You and your sisters hurt a lot of people. Yes, we did hurt people, but because we had to. We didn't have a choice. Ribbon, please, you have to believe me, said Darcy as she put her hand on his cheek. Darcy leaned in and kissed him. Ribbon was now mind-controlled by her. Ribbon returns to Althea and goes to his dorm, which he shares with Sky and Brennan. He grabs his phone and texts Bloom saying his guard shift has changed. Bloom sees the message and decides to talk to the girls. Meanwhile, Farah is meeting with the rest of the faculty. We've gathered nothing about Beatrix, said Giselda. Maybe we should find Darcy and Isabel. They could provide some insight into this situation. I agree, but Darcy hasn't been seen in 2 days, and Isabel hasn't shown up either over those 2 days to teach any of her classes, said Professor Harvey. In other words, Olivia, we don't know where to start to find them. They may try to rescue their sister. If we can catch them in the act, maybe we'll get some answers, said Saul. How are the students doing on the stimulation? Asked Plodum. Not one of the students took down the stimulation. Most of them gave up. Sounds to me like our students aren't willing to try, said Giselda. They're not ready yet, which is why we are training them. Suddenly, Liliana, an Air Fairy graduate, walks in on the meeting and appears to be injured. All the teachers look concerned. Liliana, what happened? Devioso and I were tracking a burned one not far from the school. Once we killed it, we let our guard down. It wasn't alone. She shows them the cut on her hip and shows them cut on her hip. I'll get some Zembex, said Professor Harvey. How close was it to the school? Devioso and the battalion will take care of it. Don't worry. But we were told the burned ones were solitary hunters. 2 of them were traveling together, said Liliana. Well, it's rare, but it happens. We should alert the Solarians. Yes, I'll go make some calls. Let's hope we can take care of this burned one problem. Meanwhile, in the Winx week, Bloom had gathered the other girls to talk about how they would get into Cloud Tower, how they would sneak into Cloud Tower. So, how are we going to sneak into Cloud Tower? Asked Flora. Well, there should be tunnels underneath Althea that connect to the specialist school word fountain. Wouldn't it make sense if Cloud Tower was connected to those tunnels? In case of an emergency? Said Techna. Maybe, but we have to take into account that no faculty member from Althea, including Headmistress Stalling, knows Cloud Tower exists. I still think we should try the tunnels. They are our best option. Then so, we'll leave when the whole school is fast asleep. Later at night, Ribbon provides an opening for Icy and Darcy to sneak in and rescue their sister. Your sister is waiting in there for you. Thank you, Ribbon, said Darcy. You better get out of here. The faculty will know we're here, and you can't get caught, said Icy. Ribbon left the area. Icy and Darcy walked into the prison area. They stood in front of Beatrix, ready to free her. "What took you so long?" asked her sisters. "Oh, relax, Stormy. At least we're here now to rescue you," said Darcy. "You didn't tell them anything, right?" "I would never." "Okay. How do we free you?" "First, we need to get these power locks off me. They burn like crazy," said Beatrix. "We have something for that. It's a fairy battery. We charged it at the stone circle. It should cut right through those bonds," said Icy, handing her the fairy battery. "Not so fast," said Olivia as she stepped out of the showers. "Who are you?" asked Darcy. "It's Olivia. I went to school with her." "You did, and I always suspected there was something more to you. I didn't know what it was till I did some research and figured out you were a blood witch." "You would be correct," said Beatrix as she cut off her bonds and let herself out. "You all know you don't stand a chance against me." "We know that. What are you willing to offer?" asked Icy. "The truth about where y'all are really from," answered Olivia. The sisters decided to listen. Olivia took them to Headmistress Dalling's office, where she told them the history of the blood witches. Long ago, in the Kingdom of Diamond, Her Majesty Queen Crystal allowed witches to come and live in the kingdom as long as they remained good and kind-hearted. But the witches did become blood witches. 3 ancestral blood witches even went to attack another kingdom known as Domia. Queen Crystal didn't know about the blood witches. We had no choice but to attack and get rid of the blood witches. But we didn't know that there were innocent people in the kingdom as well. Now, there was a young teenage girl in the village named Clara Griffin. This girl survived and decided to seek revenge. Clara started capturing blood witch babies to raise an army. She even took the queen's daughter. Clara created a school hidden where the Kingdom Diamond used to be. As time went on, everyone forgot and thought nothing of what could happen. But the students at the school were raised to be evil. "You girls were taken away from your mothers," explained Headmistress Darling. How do we know if you're telling the truth?" asked Icy. "Ask Headmistress Griffin. When you return to the school, she will not deny the truth," answered Headmistress Darling. "Why are you telling us this?" "Because you girls need to know the truth." "Well, I don't believe you," said Darcy. "You have no proof." "Actually, we do. This folder is full of blood witch history. It states exactly what Headmistress Darling told y'all. Just told y'all." They lifted through the pages in the folder. The sisters still refused to believe. "You don't have to believe us, but I'm telling you the truth. You're free to return to the school, but no, if you ever step foot in my school again, bad things will happen," said Headmistress Darling. "Whatever. Come on, sisters, let's get out of here," said Icy as they left the room. Icy, Darcy, and Beatrix returned to Cloud Tower. Meanwhile, Bloom and her friends found themselves in the library of Cloud Tower. Headmistress Griffin watched them on a crystal ball. She was planning to do something. The girls walked around. Headmistress Griffin decides to let a giant spider beast out of its cage to attack the girls. Bloom, Stella, Muso, Flora, and Techno run as fast as they can. Stella blinds it, and Flora wraps the beast in vines. The girls hide in the closet, but once inside, the door disappears. Bloom starts hearing a voice and decides to follow it. Bloom, what's going on? What are you doing? Asked Stella. Come with me, Bloom. I will lead you to safety, said the voice that led her to a tunnel. Hey, look what Bloom found. Way out, way to go, Bloom, said Stella. The voice stopped, and Bloom snapped out of her trance. What just happened? Asked Bloom. Never mind, we'll discuss it back at the suite. Let's get out of here, said Musa as they hurried back to Althea. And that's the end of Chapter 6. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!